Well, it's a beautiful morning in the rolling hills of western West Virginia. I've got a piping hot cup of coffee, no cream, no sugar, and we're off to see Ron Shepard, who's going to break down the entire Alley Agate marbles packaging catalog in less than 14 minutes. Join us, shall you?
As we said earlier, Alley never put his name on any package, bag, box, or anything else. He didn't think it was special, but this is one of the early ones. And you'll see as we go, you can look at the squares in the mesh bags of any company and kind of date the bags. The smaller the mesh is, so many holes per square inch will help date your bag. This bag...
And the early tighter denier bag is...
Exactly.
About what...
These are
how do you date those?
late 20s, early 30s. This bag's pretty rare. You don't see them too often when it's sewed down the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Berry Pink had the patent on this bag.
Okay.
These are all Sistersville marbles. You can date this bag within a year because it's got Alley marbles in it. He made the marbles. Berry Pink had the patent on the bag. It's packaged by Rosenthal under Lucky Glass. Lucky Boy, Lucky Glass, which a lot of people would attribute to Peltier. But it's Rosenthal.
Those are Sistersville marbles.
So these are Sistersville, and the three of them were together. Alley,
right.
Berry Pink, and Rosenthal. So this is at least late 1931, not early 1932 bag. We get below that.
Okay.
And you can see the difference in the mesh on these two bags right here.
Yeah.
This is a lot older bag than this. This is again this is a Sistersville. Again, probably 1931. Sistersville Alley bag. This you're getting into the mid 30s to the 40s.
Okay.
And
boy, they're in great shape for being 80 years old.
And some of the names, like I say, you'll notice you won't see the Alley name. You got Big Shot.
Oh, right.
And you'll see it later, Bullseye.
Everything except Alley.
Here's Good Luck Marbles. Clay Day, or this is Royal Immies. This bag is an older one. You'd have to look up the dates exactly on cellophane. This is a cellophane bag.
Okay.
And the cellophane bags are like glass. They're very brittle now. They're so old. They're usually sewed with thread, the top and the bottom. And if you buy one or be very careful handling or getting shipped because it will break like thin glass. Here's a 60 count Play Day, which is a jobber. Here's where you're starting with the bigger mesh. And a lot of companies, Vitro is famous for us. A lot of their marbles, if you've heard of the Vitro buttermilks, most of them all came out of Worcester Salt bag. But they packaged other marbles other than Vitros, because here's the bag of Alley's.
Right, and they look like St. Mary's types.
Early St. Mary's, I say these are early St. Mary's. These are St. Mary's. And in 1935, the Chinese Checkers came on. Yep. And Hop Ching was a big one for Alley's name, different boards and everything else. And before we start, here's another cellophane bag. These are a little bit older marbles from Pittsburgh. Again, cellophane sewed on the bottom.
Oh.
And plain, no name on label at all.
On top, nothing there on the...
And this is one of the sets that some of the Chinese Checkers came in. This is a small Hop Ching. It made them all different sizes. This is one of the early small Hop Chings. And there's the mesh bag of the Hop Ching marbles. And they use different color mesh.
Oh, right. Boy, they're in great shape. Jeez, look at that thing. It looks like it's brand new.
Here's a cloth bag.
Wow.
The first probably Chinese Checker marbles went in the cloth bags and into the mesh bags. And there's very few of these around.
Wow.
And you can see who's buying the Chinese Checker marbles right here.
Pressman.
J. Pressman Company, New York. That was the biggest buyer. And that's what finally put...
They worked a lot together.
Alley over top. And you can see these are a little more because you can see about all these. You got a flame or a twist in them. They're not solids.
Oh, right.
The early Chinese Checker marbles do have the Alley twist
you can
and
see
flames
the swirl
and swirls.
action.
And then you went to more solids.
Oh, yeah.
So you can tell earlier Chinese Checker marbles from later ones, especially with Alley. Here's another mesh bag. Again, it does not have Alley's name on it. You have to look at the marbles. It's got Walker's Shoe Store.
He had all these connections. He was working with all these little businesses.
Along with the name, sometimes it don't tell you much of anything what's on the header. You have to know the marbles inside the bags.
Well, would you think this is some kind of a complimentary gift for buying shoes?
Yes.
Maybe?
Yes.
Right. These are comp kind of.
Yeah. Shoe store was. Again, the cellophanes, play day. These didn't have any header marking on, but you can see how brittle they are. They turn yellow.
Yeah.
And you can get clear up to 100 count bags. I'll explain this Marble King header a little bit later. And here's a bullseye that had all shooters in it. Here's a bag with complete bag with it.
That's kind of cool.
And here is big BB special marbles. So you'll find all kind of headers. You have to look at the marbles in the bag. Once you learn the Alley marbles, it really doesn't make a difference what the header is. You can find a lot of different headers.
Yeah.
A lot of people make mistakes. Frolic's Alleys. You think, oh, these are Alley marbles. It's even spelt right.
That's right.
These are marbles made in Toronto. They're nothing like Alleys.
The boxes were made, or you think the marbles were actually made in Toronto?
I don't know where the marbles are made. It's just some jobber.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're Alleys. Good chance they might be the early Alox marbles. But I'm going to the point is, don't always go by the label or what the box says. This was done with some jobber.
Yeah, from
Toronto,
Canada.
So another example is a lot of confusion is these little boxes everybody's seen.
Yeah.
It comes up quite often.
Yeah.
This says Alleys on one side and marbles on the other side. But if you'll notice, how's Alleys spelled?
A-L-L-I-E-S.
Mr. Alley's name is A-L-L-E-Y. A-L-L-I-E-S is a term, when I was growing up young, a nickname for marble of any kind.
Marble nickname.
And 3 Monix marbles on each end, and there's a few of them on the bottom label will say J. Pressman. Jack Pressman's the one that packaged these. They do contain, if they're original, will contain 3 Alley Swirl marbles. If they don't,
what a unique
they've been
package
backfilled
with just 3. That's crazy. I wonder what they were used for. Like, Christmas stocking.
Sold in dime stores, 10 cents. We call them dime stores. Not a whole lot of boxes for Alley. You get into I think there's 5 of them. These boxes, and they're all the same color, but if you pay attention,
They've got some variations.
There's 2 different sizes.
Okay.
You got a different count box on each one, and the chore I took in was trying to find all the small ones and all the big ones.
So big nickel and big dime.
You've got big nickel.
Okay.
There's big nickel, big dime, bullseye, and big shot.
And big shot. Wow, cool.
And these, if you get close up on these marbles, some of them have plain marbles in them, some have some. This all come out of this one box.
Okay.
Look at all these flames.
Yeah.
Pretty much one
Alleys.
color. So.
And there's the Pressman name.
Pressman Company, New York. And about the only other box sets of Alley, and I do not have one, I know of 2, is a 25 count, I believe. And they're all 7/8 marbles. And it's about this size. And they're all 7/8 Alleys in it.
Oh.
And it's called Big Shot on it, I think also. They're extremely rare. Here's a few mesh bags. These all contain St. Mary's, pretty much all of them contain St. Mary's marbles.
These may be the later.
This would be the early St. Mary's in the mesh, and then you go to the plastic.
Oh, there we go.
You see the difference between the fake bag and the original plastic bags. The original will always have this seam down the back where it's melted.
Yep.
And you can get all the different kind of counts. There's another case here. It's called Powell. I think it's a 5 count. You can go from 5 count. Here's one. 5 count to 14 count to 20 count to 25 count, 30 count, 40 count, 50 count, 19 count, 100 count.
Wow.
If you notice, these were mesh or plastic.
Right.
Notice what it says on the labels. Glass marbles, glass marbles. If you turn those over, flip one of them over.
All right.
What's on the other side?
Marble can. Marble can.
That's quite common. They're easy to find.
Yeah.
So everybody assumed
that they're Marble
King
swirls.
marbles.
Yeah.
Well, no. Barry Pink was still really good friends with Alley when he went to Sistersville, St. Mary's, excuse me, St. Mary's. So Barry Pink was buying St. Mary's Alley's. Barry Pink's nickname and what he wanted to be known for was Marble King.
Yeah.
So he packaged most of these, especially the mesh ones. And then after the St. Mary's site was sold, leftover stock, the actual Marble King company used Barry Pink's Marble King headers and packaged the Alleys in them. So there's a couple of reasons that are in there with that header. Of course, the big ones, the boulders, not shoot the boulders,
Yeah.
is in the big boys. It'll say, let's say on the other side.
Marble King.
Yeah, the big ones, that's the only difference. It says instead of glass marbles, it'll say big boys. On the other side it says Marble King.
Oh. Oh, these are unique items.
Again, the plastic and mesh first, then the plastic. I've got them all turned up glass, but they all say Marble King underneath. Here's one for Buster Brown shoes.
Cool.
They bought Alley marbles. Somebody did package them up, made the label for them for Buster Brown when you bought a pair of shoes. And then most people know these are called bottle hangers. And tire root beer, if you bought a 6-pack of tire root beer, this would be hanging on the bottles. And this marbles is free with the 6-pack of soda pop. And these are all original, and they're St. Mary's marbles again. And I have Chuck Branstad and I did some research into it, and we found this man's grandfather owned the B1. He got one of the first franchises forever for Coca-Cola Company in Illinois. And long after that, he developed the B1 Lemon Lime to put in his line of products. So he decided some way to try to compete this with Coca-Cola is to give away something with it.
Sure.
So that's how.
And that was his strategy.
That's how this label was made up in his bag of marbles.
He's got Alley Agates in there. Super cool.
These are all St. Mary's marbles, and this is a cloth bag called the Winner State Champ Marble Assortment. And you can see a variety of the St. Mary's marbles. And you've heard of the Alley horsehair marbles.
Yes.
If you can get close to these green ones, have the little thin lines of the horsehair ox blood, so you know where those were made. They're made in Pittsburgh too, but the majority of them were made at St. Mary's. And this is your more common two-color.
Yep.
St. Mary's, blue and red, green and red, blue and orange.
Yep.
And
These
of course,
guys,
always made red and white everywhere.
Right.
You get into the lavender again with white.
Right. St. Mary's products. That's a nice bag. That's
this
cool.
is the later years of Alley.
Well, there's that, and here is this. This is a Pennsboro era jobber box from the Nola Morgan collection labeled Sure Shot Glass Marbles. And some terrific Alleys came out of these boxes. There's about 115 count here. We'll take a closer look at those in an upcoming video. And as always, thank you for watching. I hope you learned as much as I did in this video. And thank you, Ron Shepard, for dropping your research and knowledge for all of us to absorb. Thanks for watching.